Y'all. I'm just gonna start over because I feel like my mouth and my brain are not connected. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back. Ooh, this past week was interesting. I feel like I'm saying that a lot lately, and I think I'm saying that so much because in my mind, things go one way, and in reality, they don't always go that way. So last week was a good week. I don't know what it was. I just kind of felt a little bit off and just like meh. I didn't really want to do a whole lot. And I just didn't feel like I was on my game, you know? And I also noticed that I felt overstimulated with a lot of things. And I don't necessarily know why last week was so different than all the other weeks. I just felt like, wow, there's a whole lot happening. I'm gonna just kind of scale back and chill. And so I had, I think, 11 things on my to-do list for last week, which we're going to get into when it comes to my hiccups, but I did not get nearly that many things done. I got 3 big things done, and I'm gonna take that win. Okay, so let's start with the first accomplishment, which is I researched and found an email campaign like software that I want to use moving forward for all of my products and promotions and all of that good stuff. So I felt like that was a really big win. And what's so interesting is when it came to this, I was, looking at like YouTube videos and researching different companies and talking to different people. My sister-in-law and I had this conversation, and she uses one particular, we'll say, software, and there was one that I really wanted to use. She really wants to use that one as well, but it costs monthly, and it's like, there's a lot that goes into business and there are expenses, but it's like, where can I save money? Where can I, get things for free until I start bringing in revenue and I'm able to pay for the cost of the businesses, right? And it was so interesting because I will just say God is good, and I didn't even plan on wearing this shirt, so that's just, need I say more? Anyway, God is good because I use Squarespace to host my website, and Squarespace has built in an email campaign software. So really, I don't have to go anywhere else. I can stick with Squarespace and start it there. And then as I grow and level up in the business, I am then able to kind of pivot and decide if I want to stay with Squarespace or if I want to go somewhere else and use a different platform. That's the word, not software, platform. If I want to use a different email campaign platform. So I'm really thankful and grateful that I did a lot of research, and I am so grateful that it's already included what I have with my website, so I don't have to come out of pocket any extra money. That's a win, that's a win, that's a win. I'm gonna stop dancing and singing, but I'm excited about that. The next goal that I accomplished this week is I started my family yearbook. It took me a little while to find I'm using an app on my phone, and there's several different apps out there, and there are a lot of apps that are like, oh look, we'll help make memories from your, all the photos that you have on your phone and all this and that, and they're pretty cool. There are a lot of different apps that do it, but I found one that I like and that I'm using. It's almost done. Let me tell you, that was quite time consuming. I don't know why in my mind I thought I will organize it like this and then it'll just be easy breezy and I can just order it and it'll be done. I guess in my mind I'm like, I'll just put the photos in this order, but it's a book. So I have to lay them out. It's not like, I don't know what I was thinking, but I ended up, and I'm particular when it comes to how things are visually. I really like them aesthetically pleasing, and I like things to be symmetrical, or to have, to just like, the space needs to be even. And so that took a little bit of extra time to be conscious and aware about that, and to put it in the book and to do that. So there's that. But I'm really happy with how it looks, and I have enjoyed putting it all together. I'm super excited. For my family, if you're watching, this is your present, like I said in the last video. But for each book that I get from my family, I am also adding like special little notes inside, and I think that's what's gonna really personalize it for each family. So I'm very excited about that. And then the app that I chose to use allows for me to write captions under different photos. So I'm trying to think of like fun, quirky things that we do as a family that are like different sayings and just, you know, inside jokes and stuff like that. But it's progressing quite well. So I'm very happy. Not only did I start it, but I made lots of progress on it. Okay, the next accomplishment is a big one. Like, whew, ladies and gentlemen, can we talk about how this past week I put over $200 toward my debt elimination? Boom, baby. Ooh, I'm so excited. I'm also very proud of myself. We're just gonna call that like a serious victory. And as a result, that is just what it is. It's a victory. It's interesting because I was able to put that much toward my debt elimination because I ended up babysitting for a friend overnight, and it was, I love her kids. They're absolutely amazing kids. And it was great, but as a result, because I had mentally blocked out that time to work on certain things and get it done over the weekend, and then I was like, oh, I'm babysitting, and there's no way I could have gotten my list done and babysat. It just was not going to happen. And I was able to work on some things, but I wasn't able to complete all of my goals because the downtime that I have, when you're babysitting, you're taking care of kids, the quiet time, the downtime isn't necessarily very long, and it varies. Sometimes they take a long nap and sometimes it's a short nap. And so I just ended up not really prioritizing the other goals. I prioritized being present and in the moment with the kids and making sure that they were safe and great, because that's what you do when you babysit. But it was really wonderful and such a blessing because they paid me, and I was just not expecting to get paid as much as I did, which is why I was able to put as much toward my debt elimination as I was. And so it was wonderful. It was a win-win. And so I'm just very happy about that. Okay, so this week had a few hiccups, and we are going to chat about those because I had this like, oh, well, that's why kind of moment, and I want to share it with you guys. Okay, so my eureka moment that I had this past week came when I realized that I had set too many goals for 1 week. Now, what I mean by this is if you started watching the beginning of this series, you'll know that I started implementing the 12-week, there's a book called The 12-Week Year, and in that they have a practice or like a theory that they go by where each quarter in a year has 12 weeks, and each week is representative of 1 month in a year. And so the point is that each quarter you come up with 3 or 4 big goals that you want to accomplish, no more than that, because you're really focusing on just accomplishing these goals in this quarter. And then as a result, each week you break down what you need to do to accomplish those goals. And last week when I was goal setting and doing all of this, not that those goals weren't great or good, but a lot of them just weren't in alignment with what my ultimate goals were for the rest of this quarter. And so I think for me, my aha, my eureka moment was that list was really long and was not in alignment with what I was doing and what my goals are for the quarter. And they just were extra. They were extra noise. It was overwhelming and distracting. And so that's when I was like, I get done whatever I get done, because I didn't set my goals for the week properly. And I'm just really grateful that I realized that, and that I was able to not beat myself up over not accomplishing all of the things that I set out to accomplish for the week, and that I was able to recognize what was going on and to strive for what can I get done and do those things. For example, like obviously I'm going out and babysitting, the kids are a priority. So when I have downtime, what can I get done and what's going to be effective? Because at any moment they could wake up, right? And so it didn't make sense for me to sit down when they went down for nap time to try and write 2 chapters in my book. It didn't make sense for me to try and write a blog post or several blog posts. It didn't make sense for me to work on other goals. What made sense was work on the family yearbook. That's something that you can work on, and when they wake up, you can just put it down and move on with what you have planned, you know? So the third thing, I'm really happy that I was flexible, and that I'm still set and focused on my goals for the quarter, but I'm not rigid about it. So it's like, if it gets done, it gets done, but I'm going to be thankful and grateful for what I do accomplish. So that was the hiccup, but also a really good lesson, several lessons learned. So it's a win. Now, knowing that, I have really just 4 goals for this next week, and I'm gonna leave it at that, just the 4. So the first one is completing the paperwork that I need to transfer my business address here in Florida. So I got a business address here in Florida and I filled everything out, I secured it, and once again, me being me, kind of doing too much, I forgot to have something notarized. So you think like, Loren, you just were at the notary. I know, but I'm going back and I'm building a relationship with my banker. So I'm going to finish taking care of that and making sure that all of that paperwork is in and that I don't have to worry about that anymore, because the paperwork is already on its way to the state. So we're gonna have to make sure that's in alignment pretty quick here. Okay, the second goal that I have is to get 2 weeks ahead on all of my content. So, my goodness, my social media person is absolutely wonderful. Grace is so patient with me because I'm like, I'm not there yet. And I am trying. Obviously, I'm still producing content. I'm just not as far ahead as I need to be. And I am excited because I'm gonna have more content, hopefully very useful content for you guys coming soon. And that's what I plan on working on this week, is creating all of that content so that I am consistently 2 weeks ahead so she can do what she needs to do on the backside. And my goal is to be 2 weeks ahead minimum so that things flow with ease, especially as I get into my next goal. Okay, so my next big goal for this week, and this one I think is really big. It's definitely gonna stretch me, but this one is preparing to launch my books and my products. So I've written one book, which I've told you guys like so many times, but I have a few other products, so some PDFs and some downloads that people, that will be useful tools and resources for people. And I want to launch those starting in Q1 next year, 2023. And so I'm really excited about that, but in me launching it, it's cool that like it's there and it's available for purchase or as a free download if you subscribe to my email list and all of that stuff. That's great. But if I don't set things up so that people are aware and do like a marketing campaign, if you will, and like bring attention to it, people aren't gonna know that it's there. So I want to be intentional with that so that it's successful and so that I am prayerfully able to reach as many people as I can, because I just have a heart to help. I just want to help as many people as I can. I know that this world is so incredible and wonderful, and I know, especially in America, I feel like there's a lot of doom and gloom and the world is over, and there are a lot of things that are really scary. But here's what I know. I know the God that I serve. I know how the story ends because it's already been written down. All you have to do is read it. Facts are facts. I also know that I've been put here on this planet for a purpose, and that's what I'm doing. Like, I am choosing to fulfill that purpose, and as a result in me fulfilling my purpose, that there is hope in this world. Like, things are not going to end as bad and horrible as I think society and the world and the media wants us to believe it's going to be, or what they want it to be. You know, that's just not gonna happen. You can call me a super optimist. I'm okay with that. I know what I know, and I know it deep down inside. So I just want to make sure that I do my part and that I am moving forward and creating things that are going to make this world a better place. And I feel like I don't have to, you know, but it's my purpose. And I also feel like I could just complain and I could be scared and I could be like, the world's ending, oh my gosh. But what good is that going to do, right? I want to do something, and I want to do something that's going to leave this world better than when I arrived. And that might be a long shot and that might sound crazy, but I'm okay with that too. That's my spiel. I'm gonna hop off my soapbox now. Okay, next, my final goal for this week is to write 2 chapters of book number 2. I am really excited about this because this next book is full of some good stuff. Good, useful, helpful things that I think are going to benefit a lot of people. So I'm excited about that, and that's it. That's all I have to say. Writing 2 chapters. That's it. Just 2 chapters. You know what's gonna happen? Oh my gosh, you guys. I have a work party this weekend. It's a holiday party, and I'm supposed to go because I'm helping my boss set things up and all this stuff. And I just feel like I'm gonna dip out early. I like it. It's optional. I don't have to be there, but I'm going. And it's gonna be a good time, but I think I'm gonna end up leaving early because I have stuff I have to do, and this is really important. Not that my work party's not important, but it's about priorities, you know? I'll let you know next week what happens, but I'm thinking I'm gonna leave early. All right, everybody, thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. I love you for it. I will see you guys next week as we do the same thing. See what I got done, what accomplishments I made, what hiccups came along the way, and plan for the following week. In the meantime, I hope you guys have an amazing, wonderful, and productive week. I will see you in the next video. Auf Wiedersehen.